刚才在走到今天的现场的时候，有不少的朋友问我说：“你知道埃隆·马斯克先生今天是坐什么车来的吗？”我觉得这还要问吗？他一定就是坐的 Tesla 来的，这是全世界最火的车。问题应该是，当你从这辆车走下来的时候，你遇到的这些人，你从他们看 Tesla， 看你的眼神里，你能读到一些什么？
There is, I think, certainly excitement for people that know what the car is. I think there's probably still a fair bit of education we need to do to for people to understand that this is a different car. Because we didn't set out with the Model S to make it look weird or unusual. So if people see the car and are not familiar, they think it's maybe a gasoline car, an Aston Martin or something like that usually, or Jaguar.
有人说这不是一部车，因为它没有发动机、变速箱，相当于一部安了轮胎的超级手机。车窗、导航、音响，所有这些功能都可以通过一个超大的手机来完成。但是它的100公里提速时间不到5秒，充1次电的续航能力据说能超过500公里，跟加满1箱油能跑的公里数差不多。这样的一辆不同于以往的电动汽车特斯拉一横空出世，便引来无数围观。有人说它重新定义了汽车，有人说它是一个不切实际的幻想。那么，作为特斯拉的掌门人埃隆·马斯克，到底如何看待他自己的这部作品？
The reason we created Tesla was because the fact that electric cars had always been really slow and usually not very good looking, low range. I mean, they'd sort of been like a golf cart, and so people don't want to buy something that seems much worse than a gasoline car. So when we set out to create the Model S, we tried very hard to make something that was better than a gasoline car in every respect. Arguably the most important thing for an electric car is range, and that's typically what would concern most people. And then how fast can you charge it? And that's why we developed a car that has long range and can be charged very fast. The point of us doing that it wasn't just that we wanted to make the best car for the sake of being the best car. There was a very important thing that we had to break the mold. We had to change people's perceptions about an electric car, and so it had to be a lot better than a gasoline car, not a small amount. That's what we were trying to achieve.
你为什么会这么愿意在细节上把它打造到极致？
Well, I think it's important to get all the details of any product or service right. There's a huge difference between something that's merely good and something that's truly great. And it's that last sort of 5% that makes the difference. You want people to fall in love with a product. You want them to make them as happy as possible. But if there's a few things wrong with it, it kills the magic. At Tesla, we really try to get every detail as perfect as possible. And for most people, they won't even notice all the things. But we know some people will. We think actually most people will, even if they don't know it consciously, they'll feel it subconsciously. And they won't know exactly why that they love it, but it's because their subconscious mind processes all those details and gives them a good feeling.
如果满分是100分，你给这辆车打多少分？
Well, I'm a tough grader, so I don't know. I think 80, maybe 80.
你是一个见到什么都希望能够打破它原有的规则，重新去定义它的人吗？
I don't aspire to disrupt for the sake of disruption. It's more like there's sort of some important things that need to be accomplished where the disruption is necessary. And in the case of automotive, it's extremely important that we transition to sustainable transport as fast as possible. And if we don't do that, the world is in deep trouble. So there's a pressing need, and so there's a need to disrupt. But it's not disruption for disruption's sake. It's disruption because it's necessary.
对于特斯拉的未来，伊隆·马斯克总是充满信心，哪怕是濒临死亡的边缘。 2008年10月，特斯拉原计划售价10万美元的第一款跑车产品 Roadster， 由于变速箱的改进，成本飙升到12万美元，售价只微调到11万美元。这就意味着这款车不管怎么卖，都将是个亏本的买卖。现金正在每天被消耗，此时金融危机爆发，没有人愿意在美国3大汽车巨头福特、通用、克莱斯勒遭遇困境的时候再投资一个电动汽车。马斯克裁掉了1/3员工，关掉了在底特律的分支机构，关闭了研发中心，解雇掉 CEO， 亲自出马上阵。马斯克的哥哥曾经回忆道，倒闭已成了日常话题，很多人都在倒闭。特斯拉正处在交付电动车的前夜，订单的款已收上来。当时选择倒闭对他来讲反而是更容易，但马斯克把自己个人的钱全部都注了进去。这种近乎理想主义者的疯狂冒险，究竟是为了什么？
你那个时候想过，万一失败，这些钱可全打水漂了。
Oh, I thought I would lose all my money. That's what I thought would occur.
Wow.
That was not the hard decision. The hard decision was that I had 2 companies, SpaceX and Tesla, and you know when you've been a part of creating these companies, it feels like a child. And I could either take the money that I had left and I could divide it between SpaceX and Tesla, or I could say, no, I'm going to let one company die and give all the money to the other. That was the hard decision. Not whether I should give all my money, that was easy.
马斯克还是做出了选择，他把手头仅剩的资金和从朋友那里借到的钱全部投给了特斯拉，把这个电动车企业从死亡边缘又一次拉了回来。正像马斯克说的那样 ，SpaceX、特斯拉对于他而言都是自己的孩子。可是他为何把钱全部投给了特斯拉？难道是他对特斯拉更有信心，还是他更看好电动车这个产业？
我应该怎么来理解你这个举动？是可以把它理解成你对自己和对这个产业的未来很有信心，或者可以把它理解为你是一个更愿意去豪赌未来的人。
If you're encountering a situation where failure is the most likely outcome, if you think that if the stakes are important enough, then it's still worth doing, even if you think it's going to fail. Because I mean, the truth is, most startups fail. The most likely outcome for something that somebody's starting is most likely it will fail. So you have to be prepared to say, well, I think, okay, that's the most likely outcome, but it's important that this nonetheless be tried. And if there is a failure, then what can we learn and apply to something in the future?
你怎么就认准它就是一个未来的发展方向，它一定能成？
Well, I don't know that it will be successful in the future. I certainly hope it will be successful, but there's in the car industry is a very difficult one, and electric cars maybe especially difficult. I mean, if you look at in the United States, the next youngest car company is Chrysler, and they are almost 100 years old. And they went bankrupt a few years ago, obviously, and now they're a division of Fiat. So this is not an environment that is conducive to startups. And in fact, some other electric vehicle startups, Fisker and Coda, they went bankrupt. You know, and we just barely made it. Was super close. In fact, you know, you mentioned like 2008. That was definitely the low point, but we came close a number of times. But in 2008, we closed our financing round 6 p.m. Christmas Eve, and that was the last hour and the last day. If we had not closed it then, we would have gone bankrupt 2 days after Christmas.
相当于命悬一线的危机时刻。
You know, I looked pretty haggard, so I was pretty stressed out. And I think my friends were a bit worried. In fact, the Sunday before Christmas in 2008, I woke up that morning and I thought, wow, you know, I never thought I was someone who could ever possibly be capable of a nervous breakdown. I thought, you know, I'm tough, I can never, you know. And I woke up that Sunday morning thinking, man, this is the closest I've ever come.
埃隆·马斯克用近乎颠覆式的创新告诉我们，原来汽车也可以这样玩。 它成为了时尚的标签。在美国，它拥有一长串闪亮的用户名单，比如乔治·克鲁尼、莱昂纳多·迪卡普里奥这样的好莱坞明星，也有谷歌创始人塞奇·布林和拉里·佩奇这样的科技界巨头。而在中国，他拥有的铁粉仍然是像小米创始人雷军、UC 市董事长于永福、新浪 CEO 曹国伟、易到用车创始人周航等这样的 IT 界大佬。那么，仅靠这些高富帅的小众消费者，能否支持特斯拉的生存以及未来的发展呢？
有人一直觉得你好像在做的是富人的游戏啊，那什么时候能够让你这种真正改变世界的愿望，让普通的老百姓、普通的消费者他们也能享受到？
Right, absolutely. So, in the case with Tesla, it's true that our car is currently expensive. The goal of the company has actually always been, though, to try to create affordable electric cars. But it's been kind of a three-step process. The Model S is kind of a mid-range price car. Unfortunately, it's currently a bit expensive in China because of some import duties and that kind of thing. But at least, in the US, it's sort of a mid-range price car. And then our third car will be much more affordable. An affordable car requires iteration of the technology to make it producible, and it requires economies of scale. And when we first started out, we were too small to afford a big factory, and the technology was not mature. So we had to get through those three things.
尽管马斯克一直在强调特斯拉非常重视中国市场，认为中国会成为继美国之后特斯拉的第2大市场，并且亲自为 Model S 制定了73.4万元的价格来取悦中国消费者。然而，对于中国市场，特斯拉仍然面临重重挑战。电动车虽然神奇，但也要充电，这需要各个地方政府以及国家电网支持。而特斯拉与国家电网公司的相关合作虽然被广泛关注，却没有实质性结果。另外，业界曾疯传特斯拉将被纳入新能源汽车目录，但于2月26号公布的首批北京市新能源汽车目录里，特斯拉也不在其中。曾经屡屡险中取胜的埃隆·马斯克，这次又能否有什么让人们不可思议的方式来应对这些挑战呢
？I think China is very important to the future of Tesla. And we're going to make a big investment in China in terms of charging infrastructure. So we're going to be building the Tesla supercharger stations. In fact, I'll be unveiling 2 of those, one in Beijing, one in Shanghai, over the next few days. All of our supercharging stations will have solar power. And they'll also have a battery pack so that it gives 24/7, basically 24-hour power. So during the day the batteries are charged, and so you have continuous power. Anyway, I think that's real important. We will obviously have sales and service throughout China. We certainly will long term. And then, at some point in the next 3 or 4 years, we'll be establishing local manufacturing as well in China. So I think the most important message is that we think China is extremely important, and we're going to make a big investment to ensure that anyone who buys the car will have a good experience. So.
几乎每一台 Tesla 都是私人定制的。都完全按照你的个性需求去做一个选择的，但据说呢，因为有了这样的一个个性化，我们交车的平均时间就是10个月了，甚至是更长。对很多的中国用户来说，让我们等一辆车等1个月，我们觉得都是极限了，简直都等不下去了。你不怕他们会有一些抱怨？
Oh, I don't think it's 10 months. I think it's more like 3 or 4 months. I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
哦，3到4个月也是挺极限的，我觉得。
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I think at some point we'll probably produce cars. We'll have to sort of guess at what people's preferences are and make cars that hopefully are close, so that you can have them immediately. But we need to improve our production rate in order to do that. So we're trying to increase our production rate as fast as possible. I mean, I think this year we will almost double our production rate. And we're not making the waiting time long just for the sake of being long. Actually, I think there would be actually increased demand if the waiting time were shorter. So we do want to try to get to a shorter waiting time in the future.
他造出的电动汽车特斯拉全部在网上订购，颠覆了传统的经销商模式。他如何面对来自利益团体的挑战？
那你担心会在中国出现这样的问题吗？
他是现实版的钢铁侠，为何要烧光所有的钱，只为造出全球最便宜的火箭？广告之后，精。
你现在在做的创新，为了大众创新，降低大众的成本的事情，会伤害那些巨头。 大的利益团体的利益，你怎么样来平衡以及取得大众的支持
？You know the big car companies. Because I was wondering why are they not making more electric cars? Why do they not make it a mainstream effort? And actually, all they seem to be doing is doing the minimum required to comply with government regulation, and then because they are so powerful, they can influence the government regulation to be very weak. So that does not result in change. So the only way to get them to take electric cars seriously is for them to conclude that if they don't take it seriously, then Tesla will take their customers. So it's competitive pressure, I think, is the only thing that will get the big car companies to create electric cars. In terms of the effect that Tesla will have, it's much more, I think, on the behavior that we will induce in other car companies rather than the cars we make ourselves. I think we will make, probably in the end, only a small percentage of the cars, but we will induce the rest of the car industry to make a lot of electric cars, and that's the ultimate good thing that would occur.
Tesla 网络直销的方式，其实也影响了原来汽车销售途径当中一部分人的利益。我知道在美国很多的州，一些汽车经销商，他们就不是很高兴，说伊伦，你凭什么一出来你就打翻了我们原有的销售的模式，让我们这些代理商完全就失去了我们存在的可能和空间，我们未来都挣不到钱了，所以他们会反对这种方式。那你还会坚持吗？
Yeah, we're definitely going to stick to the doing direct sales. I mean, it's possible that at some point in the future that we could have a mixed model of Tesla direct stores and sell through other people as well. But we always have to have the option that if somebody is not ensuring that a customer has a good experience, that we can eliminate them from the mixture. Because my concern would be if somebody is awarded a permanent franchise to sell the product, and they don't and they don't treat customers well, then there must be some means to stop them from selling our product. That's really the overriding concern, is that however somebody buys a Tesla, it must be a good experience.
那你担心会在中国出现这样的问题吗？
We've not heard any concern about that so far, or in Europe for that matter. So, in fact, it's only in the U.S. where it's been problematic. I don't know what the deal is, and it's only in certain states within the U.S. So some states like California, it's no problem, and other states like New Jersey, it's a big problem. Unfortunately, I think there's, because if you look at the, like say, if you look at the consumer polls, like when people are asked about their preference, the consumers always say they would prefer to go direct. And so there's been lots of polls done, and it's overwhelmingly that they want the option of buying directly. And like the lowest score was 80%. But unfortunately, I think the car dealers in some states in the U.S. have corrupted the politicians. Honestly, that's the truth of it. Yeah.
在搜索引擎上，我们注意到你的关注指数从08年开始比较平稳，到10年的时候突然间就开始有一个大的攀升。如果回到10年的时候，伊伦，你还记得那一年你做的最值得让你骄傲的一件事情是什么吗？
Okay, let's see. 2012, I'm not sure. What
我们梳理了一下，我不知道你是否会认为这3件事同样的重要。
2010年，马斯克名下3家企业的大动作几乎同时发生。第2季度，光伏公司 Solar City 开始拓展业务，向普通居民提供太阳能光伏租赁。6月 ，SpaceX 成为第1家成功把载人飞船模型送到地球轨道的私人企业。6月29号，电动汽车品牌特斯拉在纳斯达克上市。
是像这些上市啊、上天啊，都不太重要，是吗？
I guess those were certainly important things. I mean, I guess the IPO was nice, but I think IPO is not that important, you know, because yeah, you go from being a private to a public company, but you know, I don't think it's all that much of an achievement to go public, honestly. And in fact, when we went public, all that really seemed to happen was that we got a lot more criticism from the U.S. financial press. And there were a lot of people trying to sell our stock short and spreading negative rumors and that kind of thing. So I would say the burden increased to when we went public. It was necessary to raise money and to clean up our equity structure, but it made running the company more difficult.
对你来说，31岁就成为亿万富翁，实在是让你接触了别人很多都不能接触到的东西。一般人提到亿万富翁呢，可能会联想到的是瞬间富足的生活啊，又买飞机啊，又买游艇啊等等。但是大家看到的伊伦，其实在成为亿万富翁之后的很多时间，他的很多的钱不是拿去享受，而是拿去投资。用他的话来说，甚至都不知道能不能成功的投资。所以你觉得你自己是一个爱冒险的人吗？
I guess I don't mind taking risks, but I think you know, very often people overweight what enjoyment money can bring. You know, so like buying lots of things is not necessarily the thing that leads to happiness, and you know, and certainly being incrementally wealthy does not make one incrementally happy. At least for me, it's more like, you know, what am I doing that's useful? What's, you know, are my efforts making the world a little bit better? You know, that kind of thing. I mean, I like to build things. You know, I like to construct and to evaluate my efforts based on what things have I helped to build that people have enjoyed. That's really the main thing.
这样的一个改变世界和创造新事物的精神，其实跟一个人特别像。这个人在电影屏幕上出现过。
You have a 9:30 dinner.
Perfect. I'll be there at 11. Is this us?
Absolutely. It can be.
Great. Make it us.
Okay.
Mr. Musk, how are you?
Congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you very much.
Those Merlin engines are fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, good idea for an electric jet.
You do?
Yeah.
Then we'll make it work.
这是电影《钢铁侠》当中的一个小片段。伊伦对自己的演技还感到满意吗？
Sure. So, when Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. were doing the first Iron Man, they came to visit me to ask for some advice on the script, and someone had told them that I was similar to Tony Stark or something, and so they came and they got a tour of Tesla and SpaceX, and they asked me for, you know, what, Iron Man has these powers. How could you, what sort of explanation could there be for them, and that kind of thing. In this case, I play myself, and I talk with Tony Stark about collaborating on an electric vertical takeoff and landing jet.
在现实生活当中啊，其实伊伦也做了很多类似钢铁侠才可以做的事情，比如说很多人都想象不到的造火箭。造火箭这个事儿你是怎么想的？这是举全国之力才能够做，也未必能做好的一件事儿。你凭个人之力就已经打算要做了。
I think it's important for rockets. It's important for humanity to become a multi-planet species and ultimately to go out there and explore the stars. And The reason I started SpaceX was because it didn't seem as though rocket technology was advancing very quickly. In fact, it was arguably going backwards. I started SpaceX with the idea of seeing if we could reverse the trend and improve rocket technology. And for a long time, we've been trying to, we've been pursuing what is arguably the holy grail objective in rocketry, which is to be able to bring the rocket back and relaunch it. And on Friday, we had a key milestone, which is that we were able to achieve a soft landing in the ocean of the rocket boost stage. It's the first time we've been able to achieve that, and it's been the goal of the company since we started 12 years ago. So if things go well, later this year, we will, the rocket stage will come back and land back at the launch pad, and we'll relaunch it with another satellite or something probably next year. This is really would be, assuming we are successful in doing that, this would be a very important thing for the space industry. The aircraft industry, if aircraft could only be used once, and how expensive a flight would be. It's the same thing for rockets. Today, rockets can only be used once. But if they can be used 1,000 times, then let's say a rocket that ordinarily costs $60 million per flight, the capital cost of the rocket would only be $60,000 a flight if you could use it 1,000 times.
埃隆·马斯克的另一个梦想就是通过发射火箭把人类送向外太空。他说他将是第一个进入太空的私人公民。母亲曾经这样形容儿时的马斯克：当别的孩子望着月亮感叹它与地球有多远时，马斯克会说它与地球的平均距离为38.4400公里。然而，在至法国、俄罗斯了解到发射火箭的高昂成本之后，马斯克做出了一个让每个人都惊诧的决定：自己造出全世界成本最低的火箭。然而，火箭虽然造出来了，3次发射却接连失败，投资的上亿美元瞬间灰飞烟灭。这一次，历史似乎没有按照他的意志前进，连吃饭都没钱的马斯克还要继续疯狂冒险吗？
I mean, there's certain goals that I think are really important for the future, and so I mean, it sort of feels like this is not about personal ambition or anything like that. It's just that if I look towards the future, there's some things that if they don't happen, then I think the future would not be good. I think we want to have the future that is the good future, and I mean that's the reason that I'm doing it, because I want to sort of look ahead and say, okay, that future is happening, or at least know that I've done everything that I can for my part to help make it happen. Yeah.
第4次的发射之前，有人担心它不成功，但我想知道你在那一刻你在想一些什么。
Yeah, so I mean, up until that point in the beginning of the company, we'd had 3 launches and 3 failures. I think pretty much everyone thought the 4th launch would fail too, and that would have been game over, for sure. And
是因为钱都花完了，没办法继续再做了吗？
Yeah.
哦，这还是真的啊！我以为你总有源源不断的钱可以来补充你之前的投资。
No. At that point, we're talking sort of back in 2008 still. I had all the money from PayPal, from the sale of PayPal, had been distributed to SpaceX, Tesla, and Solar City, and so I didn't have any money left personally. In fact, I had to borrow money from friends just to pay rent. So there was no real option. If that 4th launch had failed for SpaceX, it would be dead for sure, 100% likely. And the funny thing is, when I started the company, I said, okay, I've got to make sure that I have enough money for 3 launches, so that sort of 3 strikes. And unfortunately, then we had 3 failures. Like, oh, this is pretty bad. But fortunately, we were able to scrape together just enough to do the 4th launch.
在发射的前一天的晚上，你自己在考虑一些什么？
I didn't sleep at all for the nights before that. I was very, very worried. And in fact, I was so stressed out on that fourth launch, I didn't even feel joy. I just felt relief.
第4次即将发射之前，媒体曾经给出过这样的评价，说这次的发射要么是史诗般的胜利，要么是史诗般的失败，没有中间项。
2010年6月4号，并不被看好的第4次发射成功了。SpaceX 公司用自行研制的猎鹰9运载火箭，将载人飞船龙飞船的模型送入了地球轨道，成为第1家可以发射运载火箭的私人企业。而这一天，距离 SpaceX 公司成立还不到10年的时间。
大家只看到了火箭成功的升天，但是却不知道在成功之前，伊伦所忍受过的那么多的寂寞、孤独、无奈和无助。也许以后4可以成为你的一个幸运数字吧，因为这次让大家看到了你在发射火箭上面的一份信心、信念，你还把太空船运上了天空，跟国际空间站进行了对接，这个恐怕是迄今为止相当牛的一件事情，因为大概在全世界来看，恐怕也只有美国、俄罗斯、中国以及你的 SpaceX 可以做到这样的一件事情。
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe it actually. It's kind of hard to believe.
太不可思议了啊！
I agree. There was this program that was started at NASA, which was a commercial cargo program. That NASA knew the space shuttle was going to retire, and they needed to have some alternatives. But there was only a small budget available, so they ran this competition. And then, normally a competition like that would be won by a big company, but like Boeing and Lockheed looked at the budget and they said, "Oh, this is not enough money, so we're not even going to bid until you raise the amount of money." And we said, "We'll bid." And then the big aerospace companies thought, well, that stupid little company, they're going to fail. And then NASA will have to contract with us. Fortunately, we didn't fail. Yeah, so, but if they had not been, they were quite arrogant and dismissive, and so they, like I said, they chose not to bid, which created an opportunity for SpaceX to bid for that business, and then we were able to make it work. I still can't believe that it worked, by the way. So.
其实在我看来，还有一件更不可思议的事情，就是他们家发射的火箭去了之后还能再回家。够不够神奇？其实我们通过电视的特技，让这个火箭升空和回家的速度都变快了很多啊！真正恐怕没有像这么舒服，你30秒钟时间就可以看到自己的心血这么完美的呈现在了自己的面前。其实很多人都想做类似的事情，无论是大公司或者是私人的航天公司，他们都尝试过。但是为什么最后做成这件事儿的还是伊隆？你跟别人比有什么不一样？
I don't know, honestly. I think that if you look at any big company, and you look at their early history, it was always they had to make progress, and I think this is maybe good general advice for somebody who's creating a company is, you try to make something work at a small scale, you prove yourself, and then customers will give you a little bit more credit, and then you can try something a little bit more, and you with each successive iteration of the technology, you build confidence, bigger and bigger contracts and that kind of thing. And I think with SpaceX, that's pretty much what's happened. We've been able to gradually build the confidence of NASA and commercial satellite operators, and that's what's given us the resources to do some additional development, like the vertical takeoff and landing, which is it's very, as I said, this is very important for the future of space travel. It's literally at least 100-fold difference between having a reusable rocket or an expendable rocket. And the only way that humanity will ever be able to afford going beyond Earth is if that cost is reduced.
听说在未来的10年当中，你有一个计划，就是把大家运到火星上去，而且可以住在那儿啊，大概最终可以实现8万个移民火星的一个目标。现场有没有谁想要获得这样的移民指标
？8万人移民火星，它是痴人说梦还是现实计划
I think it would be kind of cool to be the first of whatever it is on another planet.
造电动车，造火箭，造太阳城，他是天才还是疯子？
你真的有那么疯狂吗？
乔布斯、钢铁侠、都教授，哪一个最像他？广告之后为您揭晓。
现场有没有谁想要获得这样的移民指标？伊伦，你觉得他们报名够踊跃吗？
I do, absolutely. I should say that I think that ultimately there will need to be actually millions of people on Mars, but the key thing is that we have the cost of going to Mars has got to be something that people can afford, and then obviously we need to build the basic infrastructure on Mars, sort of sort of a spaceport essentially, where the rockets can land and get refueled, and where there's sort of the basics of life support and so forth. But I think it's going to be important for SpaceX and maybe other companies to make that journey affordable, and then get out of the way to allow people to create businesses on Mars. And this will be a wide range of things, from somebody creating the first pizza joint to iron refining, to there's a whole thing, but there needs to be a fertile ground for entrepreneurs to establish something new on Mars. And I think it would be kind of cool to be the first of whatever it is on another planet.
哇，所以你未来也有机会到火星上去，在那儿建企业。那你会在那儿再做一些什么样我们觉得挺不可思议的事儿吗？那个时候就是来自火星的伊伦。
I think the most important thing we need to do is just make sure that there's reliable, low-cost transport to and from Mars. That's super important, and keep improving that year over year. But honestly, I think I probably would not personally try to start any businesses on Mars, unless I felt it was like necessary and somebody else wasn't going to do it, because I wouldn't want people to think that, I'm going to control certain industries or something like that. My goal is will simply be to provide the most fertile environment for other entrepreneurs to create companies, and for them to feel secure that if they do create something, that they will be able to hold on to it long term.
我们真的不知道未来在火星上伊伦还会做出一些什么，但是我们可以确切知道的是，伊伦已经在地球上做出了一些大家看得到的事儿。我们找了一张伊伦的履历表。
2002年，他作为全球最大的电子支付平台 PayPal 的创始人，31岁成为亿万富翁。2008年，他是全球首位成功发射火箭的私人老板，6年时间创造出全球价格最低的运载火箭，开辟私人探索太空时代。2012年，他是美国最大的私人太阳能供应商 SolarCity 的董事长。2013年，他 它是全球第一辆在商业上获得成功的电动汽车特斯拉 Motors 的掌门人。
可能很多人看到这儿哈，都会很自然的用“成功”这2个字来定义这位年轻人。您自己会用什么样的字来描述一下，当你看到这样的一份履历表的时候，你的内心感受？
To me, what word would I use to describe myself today? Engineer, I guess.
工程师，特别朴素的一个字眼儿哈，但不是每一个工程师都可以做成这么多的事儿。你觉得你跟其他的工程师相比，不同的地方是什么？在中国这就叫人生考题。所以也足以值得伊伦稍微想一下。
Right. Maybe I'm just
Courage?
crazy.
Crazy.
Maybe I'm crazy, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
你看上去不像一个很疯狂的人。你真的有那么疯狂吗？
I hide it well. Yeah, no, I think you know, just I think it's certainly important to persist in things. I mean, I do think that there's a framework that physics teaches that's a helpful framework for thinking. You know, which is to sort of reason from first principles and rather than by analogy, and to always question whether you're wrong and try to invalidate your own theories. These are important things. And yeah, I mean, I think also maybe people have too much fear of failure. You know, you have to say, well, what would really happen to you if you failed? I mean, you're not going to starve, you know, probably will not lose shelter. So why not try things? You know, I think very often people self-limit what they're capable of without realizing it.
很多用户呢都非常对您的这个思维方式很感兴趣，比如您会想到这个去修一辆比这个飞机飞得还要快的火车，它可以在1个小时之内这个横跨美国的大陆。那您曾经提到过，您自己的思维方式呢是有一些特点的，您把它称为一个这个就是物理学的思维方式。究竟什么是这个物理学的思维方式？谢谢。
I think physics probably has the best framework for thinking, particularly for exploring new territory. Or always be questioning your whatever idea you have, not from the standpoint of reducing confidence in it, but more to make sure it stands up to reason. If something does not stand up to reason, then it is probably false. And I think it's a good idea to solicit negative feedback.
在您来到现场之前，我们也询问了大家愿意用什么样的词来描述您，或者说他们印象当中的你是什么？来，我们看一看：天马行空、特立独行、惊世骇俗、亿万富翁、颠覆、天才发明家、来自星星的人、火星人、改变世界、
Alien、
超级英雄。我把这些词放到了网上，做了一个综合的搜索，然后出来了这样的3个词。第一个词是乔布斯，第2个词是钢铁侠，第3个词是都敏俊都教授，来自韩国的一部电视剧当中的主人公，从另外一颗不是地球的星星，时不时飞到地球来看他女朋友的人啊。你觉得目前这3个人跟你有点像吗？
I suppose, I mean, I don't, yeah, maybe a little bit, aspects of them, I suppose. I mean, I certainly admire Steve Jobs a lot for what he did. I mean, he certainly created products that had this amazing feel to them. They just felt like, you know, somewhat magical. And so he did great things with Apple. And I suppose Tony Stark, you know, I guess what I like about him is he was the CEO, but he was also like the chief engineer. And usually, you know, very often in companies, you have kind of like the business guy in charge, and then there's like the engineer who's not in charge. I like the fact that the engineer was in charge. The other fellow, I don't know him, unfortunately, but must be a pretty cool guy. I mean.
在很多人的心目中，尤其是创业者的心目中，你可能是他们的偶像。但我也想知道一下，在你的心中，你会把谁视为偶像
？Really long list, I would say, but you know, like Benjamin Franklin. You know, he was. He seemed like someone who did the right thing at the right time, and he was sort of a scientist and inventor and, you know, all around good guy. I like him. But I like, you know, generally scientists and engineers, and so at SpaceX, for example, the conference rooms are named after great scientists and engineers. Obviously, Tesla is named after Nikola Tesla. You know, I think anyone who's done useful things that added to the world, and where, you know, you'd be sad if that person had not existed, then I think those people are worth admiring.
Hi, Elon. Welcome to Beijing. Well, as early as in 20 years before, you believed that the areas of sustainable energy, the internet, and the space exploration would have the most impact on the future of mankind. And therefore, you helped create SpaceX, PayPal, and Tesla Motors. And my question is, 20 years later, as of today, do you still hold the same belief? And what would be the next big thing for the next 20 years? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, I think so. Technically back then I thought there were 5 areas, 3 of which were definitively positive. You know, being internet, sustainable energy, and making life multiplanetary. There were 2 other areas that are more of a question mark. Those are artificial intelligence, or true sort of artificial general intelligence. And then the other is writing genetics, like rewriting human genetics. I mean, those things would have a very big impact, but there's quite a big risk associated with them. You know, like maybe some bad things could happen. But I think those 2 areas are likely to happen either way. You know, I mean, they're going to happen eventually, and there's certainly a lot of opportunity in them.
谢谢 Elon Musk 先生来到我们今天的对话节目现场。大家可能都记得这样的一些时间节点：1879年，爱迪生经过了1600多次的实验，创造出了世界上第一支的电灯泡。2007年，乔布斯在经过了2年不断的失败之后，向全球发布了第一款 iPhone 手机。2010年，我身旁的 Elon Musk 先生花光了所有的家当，终于成功的通过私人的公司将载人飞船送上了太空。你可以看到，从古至今，在我们这个世界上，从来都不缺乏一些狂想家，但是真正能够推动人类进程的，应该是那些敢于梦想并且不顾一切去实践的人。我们希望这样的人越来越多。谢谢各位关注我们本期对话，也谢谢伊伦先生来到我们节目现场。谢谢各位，下周再见。
Thank you.
Thank you.